Well, well. Look at that. The group chat finally went silent, didn't it? Not the fake silent either. Not the little pause before somebody drops another meme to kill the tension. I'm talking about that heavy kind of silence, that ugly silence. That silence where people stop laughing, stop typing, stop acting smart for 2 seconds because the thing they mocked happened exactly how you said it would. And now somebody in the GC just said, "No way. You predicted all of this." Yeah. Now they're staring at the screen like it bit them. Now they're rereading old messages. Now they're scrolling up, looking for that moment you spoke. That moment they ignored. That moment they brushed you off like you were being dramatic, paranoid, too intense, too much, too serious, too honest. Funny how people love calling you crazy right up until reality starts copying your words line for line. That's when the energy changes. That's when the jokes don't hit the same. That's when the people who smirked the loudest suddenly get real quiet. Because deep down, what scares them is not that you guessed right. It's that you saw what they were too lazy, too blind, too distracted, or too scared to see. And let's be real, you didn't predict it because you're magic. You predicted it because you pay attention. You predicted it because you notice patterns. You predicted it because while everybody else was busy getting sedated by noise, by trends, by fake hype, by validation, by dopamine hits and empty opinions, you were watching, listening, reading the room, reading the cracks, reading the shift in people's tone, reading what wasn't being said. See, that's your gift, and also your curse. Because when you see things early, people don't call you wise. They call you negative. When you question what everybody else is celebrating, they don't call you sharp. They call you difficult. When you sense danger before the fire starts, they don't call you prepared. They call you weird. That's how this world works. It punishes the person who notices. It punishes the one who refuses to sleepwalk. It punishes the one who says, "Nah, something's off here," while everybody else is too busy clapping for a disaster in slow motion. But then the collapse comes. Then the betrayal comes. Then the crash comes. Then the fallout comes. Then the apology never comes, but the silence does. And that silence is your receipt. Because there is something powerful about being the one person who didn't need hindsight to understand what was about to happen. Most people only become wise after the damage, after the heartbreak, after the humiliation, after the loss, after the mask slips, after the lie falls apart, after the person they defended turns around and shows their real face. Most people need the wound before they learn the lesson. You learned to read the blade before it touched skin. And do you understand how dangerous that makes you? Not dangerous in the loud way, not in the cheap movie villain way. I'm talking about real danger, quiet danger, controlled danger, the kind that walks into chaos and already knows where it ends. The kind that hears somebody talk for 5 minutes and can smell the insecurity behind the confidence. The kind that watches a situation unfold and already knows which loyalty is fake, which smile is forced, which promise is temporary, which plan is built on air. That kind of awareness changes everything. Because once you stop being shocked by people, you stop being ruled by them. Once you stop expecting honesty from liars, loyalty from opportunists, or depth from people addicted to surfaces, you move different. You stop over-explaining. You stop begging to be believed. You stop wasting your breath on people who only respect pain after it proves you right. You stop trying to save people from storms they are emotionally committed to walking into. That part, right there, that's a hard lesson. Because at some point, you realize some people do not want truth. They want comfort. They want whatever helps them sleep. They want whatever lets them keep their little fantasy alive for one more week. They want whatever protects their ego from the discomfort of admitting that the person they doubted was the only one being real. And when that truth finally lands, they don't always thank you. Sometimes they resent you even more, because your accuracy exposes their weakness. Your clarity humiliates their denial. Your foresight reminds them that while they were busy performing intelligence, you were actually using it. And that makes people itch inside. You've seen it. You've felt it. That look people get when they realize you were right. It's not always admiration. Sometimes it's discomfort. Sometimes it's envy. Sometimes it's this weird, bitter energy, like they're mad you forced reality to embarrass them. But that's not your burden to carry. You need to hear this in your bones. It is not your job to make people comfortable with the truth you can see. It is not your job to shrink your instincts so insecure people can feel smart. It is not your job to go soft on your perception because others confuse awareness with arrogance. You know how many people destroy themselves because they keep ignoring their own inner warning system. Too many. Way too many. They feel the red flag. They feel the weird vibe. They feel the tension under the fake smile. They feel the gut punch when something doesn't add up. But then they talk themselves out of it. They say, maybe I'm overthinking. They say, maybe I'm being too harsh. They say, maybe it's all in my head. And that's how they betray themselves. Not all at once, little by little. One ignored instinct at a time. One silenced intuition at a time. One extra chance for the wrong person. One more excuse for the obvious lie. One more delay. One more compromise. One more time choosing comfort over truth. Then one day it all blows up, and suddenly they want wisdom. Suddenly they want clarity. Suddenly they want the strength they refused to build when things were calm. But strength doesn't appear on demand. You build it in the moments nobody celebrates. You build it when you trust your gut, even when the room disagrees. You build it when you walk away before the whole story finishes proving you right. You build it when you don't need public validation to honor private conviction. That's the real flex. Not being loud, messy, painful, expensive growth, but worth every scar. And let's be honest, some of your scars came from trying too hard to be fair to people who were never fair to you. Some of your wounds came from giving the benefit of the doubt to people who were calculating your downfall while smiling in your face. Some of your exhaustion came from carrying emotional labor for people who would call you dramatic the second you told the truth. And some of your wisdom, that wisdom was paid for in betrayal. That's why it cuts so deep when somebody finally says, "No way, you predicted all of this." Because those words don't just mean you were right. They remind you what it cost to be right. The sleepless nights, the overthinking, the alienation, the internal battle of wondering whether to speak up or stay quiet, the ache of being dismissed, the frustration of watching people walk straight into the thing you warned them about, the quiet rage of being treated like a problem when you're actually the alarm. So no, don't let anybody reduce your foresight to luck. Don't let anybody act like you just stumbled into accuracy. No. You earned this clarity. You earned it through pain, through observation, through pattern recognition, through surviving people, systems, situations, and lies that taught you what the average person still refuses to learn. And here's the beautiful part. This gift is not just about seeing disaster. It's also about seeing opportunity. Because the same mind that detects danger early can detect openings early too. The same instincts that sense betrayal can sense alignment. The same awareness that sees collapse can also see momentum before everybody else catches on. That means you are not doomed to just be the one who sees bad things coming. You can become the one who sees your next level before anyone else believes in it. You can become the one who senses when it's time to leave, time to build, time to pivot, time to lock in, time to stop playing small, time to stop explaining yourself, time to stop dragging dead weight, time to protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. Imagine what happens when you stop using your perception only for survival and start using it for strategy. Imagine what happens when all that emotional intelligence, all that pattern recognition, all that hard-earned instinct gets pointed toward your own future instead of just other people's chaos. That's when you become a force. That's when you stop being the person who merely survives deception and become the person who designs a life too solid to be shaken by it. That's when your standards rise. That's when your circle gets smaller and realer. That's when your words carry weight because you don't waste them. That's when your peace gets expensive. That's when access to you becomes earned, not assumed. That's when you stop handing your nervous system over to every loud personality with confidence and a good story. That's when you stop mistaking intensity for honesty. That's when you stop entertaining what your spirit already rejected. And people will notice. Oh, they'll notice. They'll notice you don't react the same. They'll notice you don't chase the same. They'll notice you don't fold under pressure the same. They'll notice their usual tricks don't hit. They'll notice you're not available for confusion anymore. They'll notice you leave earlier, trust smarter, speak less, mean more. And some of them will call you cold. Let them. Some will call you detached. Let them. Some will say you changed. Exactly. You were supposed to. You were never meant to stay the version of yourself that ignorance could manipulate. You were never meant to stay easy to read, easy to bait, easy to wound. You were never meant to keep bleeding just because other people feel threatened by your depth. No. You were meant to become the kind of person who can walk through illusion without inhaling it. The kind of person who can hear applause and still ask, for what? The kind of person who can sit in a room full of noise and still trust the whisper in their gut. The kind of person who does not need a tragedy to validate their instincts. That is rare. That is dangerous. That is powerful. So when somebody in the GC says, "No way, you predicted all of this," don't puff your chest out for applause. Don't waste your energy trying to look impressive. Don't start performing wisdom for people who only respect it after the ruins. Just remember who you are. You are the one who sees before others admit. You are the one who feels the shift before others recognize it. You are the one who can sense the fracture behind the facade. You are the one who learned to read the room without needing the room to validate the reading. And now, you need to take that same energy and turn it inward. Trust yourself faster, move sooner, explain less, protect more, Build harder. Detach cleaner. Choose peace earlier. Choose discipline over emotion when the warning signs show up. Choose self-respect over saving people committed to their own destruction. Choose conviction over consensus. Because consensus is late. Consensus always shows up after the damage. Consensus is what happens when the obvious can no longer be denied. But your power lives before that. It lives in the early signal, in the subtle shift, in the tiny inconsistency, in the sentence that doesn't quite land right, in the smile that feels rehearsed, in the opportunity that nobody else sees yet, in the decision to trust your mind before the proof becomes public. That's where your life changes, not when everybody agrees, when you do. And once you do, once you stop betraying what you know, once you stop watering down your perception to fit in, once you stop apologizing for being awake in a room full of sleeping souls, you become almost impossible to play with. Because now the joke's over. Now the mask doesn't impress you. Now the manipulation doesn't confuse you. Now the delay tactics don't trap you. Now the shiny package doesn't distract you from the rotten core. Now when the world tries to sell you fantasy, you check the foundation. Now when people try to charm you out of your discernment, you smile and keep your distance. Now when your instincts whisper, you listen like your life depends on it. Because sometimes it does. And the beautiful, brutal truth is this. Most people will wait for disaster to educate them. You decided to let awareness educate you first. That's why they're shocked. That's why the chat went silent. That's why somebody finally typed, "No way, you predicted all of this." Because deep down, they know they weren't watching. They weren't listening. They weren't thinking. You were. And while they were busy doubting your vision, life was busy proving it.